So this is for everybody. The Minneapolis Public School Board resolution states that the CDD must protect our and this is the wording that it says, protect our immigrant students, families, and staff. And I think we kind of have the idea. I know the question is, do you feel that the CDD will do this? And I think we've kind of already aired that out. The core issue I want to jump right into is, and it says protect our immigrant families, protect our immigrant students, families, and staff. I want to kind of flip this question and say, do you feel that the CDD benefits white students and families most? If so, why? If not, why? I just want to jump into that because we have been speaking a lot about bilingual, Latinx, Muslim, Somali, all these identities that a demographic that is highly non-white. And I do want to speak to kind of just, the elephant in the room, which is, white students. Do you feel that the CDD is benefiting white students more than everybody else? And if so, why? If not, why? Does anybody want to take that on first, please? If at all. Francisco, if you want to unmute real quick, please.
Let me see if I can respond to your question here. Like I mentioned before, I am a father of 3 kids. 2 of my kids already graduated from high school. When my kids were younger and had a job where I was making back then like $6.50 or $7 an hour, I had to work so many hours and so many jobs to be able to support my family. So when we look at this educational system, and we as Latino parents or other immigrant parents or poor people, our mind is into earning to be able to support the family. And so there are many inequities in the society we live in. I mean, access to healthcare, for instance, wages, rent, or the conditions where we live. So now, when my youngest one is in school, I am in a different financial position. And to the point where hundreds of books are in our house, computers, and all of that. So wealth impact how outcomes our kids. So when we look at for instance, there was a mom who lives in Phillips who drive her child to one school in South Minneapolis, and I asked, well, why don't you go to your local school here and you go to Windom in this case? And she said, well, I just want a good school for my child. And what is a good school? And so when you look at what a parent wants to do to ensure that the kid gets good education, there are a couple of things that we need to think about. Number one, what do we need to do to ensure that we do good investments in the schools that are in our communities? And so that our schools have what they need, the infrastructure has what it needs for our parents to go to the local school. Number two, what is it that we're doing so our kids, and what more investments can we do in our kids so they can succeed? So for instance, and this is, I think it's an important aspect to take. So there is no data yet, and I know that I will have some reactions here. There is no data yet. If I put my brown child in a white, in a school that is a wealthy white school, my child may do better, but it's not going to be performing equally to the white students. So it will perform better than the school that is less funded or is so segregated, but it's not going to perform at the same level. At the end of high school, my child may do better, but not as white kids. So that's an important question that I think we need to ask ourselves. What is going on with our kids, or what more investments do we need to do in our kids to be able, and like I said, wealth impact the outcome of our children.
Absolutely, absolutely.